What's up, Yoon-Fam? It is I,
Mark Yoon.
and today I'm bringing another hopefully exciting video. So what I got for you today is the latest in our new timeline series, which is going over the lore of the characters that have been introduced and reintroduced via Soul Calibur 6. As this game is a soft reboot, every character has new timeline lore. When they come out, I like to try and cover them. There is a playlist in my playlist section of all the new timelines if you wanted to go over and check that out when you get a chance. But with that being said, we're going to jump right into this video, which is the new timeline lore for Hwang Seong Gyeong. It is difficult to survive this turbulent world, especially if one goes straight without refraction. Hwang Seong Gyeong, an orphan taken by the legendary swordsman Song-Han Myung, renowned as a god of war, grew up to become one of the strongest and most selfless people in all of Korea. There is no doubt that the introduction of the Naryu-style dojo and the mastery swordsmanship helped. It was not only the sword technique, but also in the personality that was found in the swordswoman Song-Han Myung, swordsman. Raised alongside Han Myung's daughter Songmina, Hwang came to regard her as a sister. When the news came to Japan that a neighboring country across the sea was being unified, fears of potential invasion rose across Korea. Shortly after, young people volunteered to serve in the military under Lee Sung-shin, the general of the Navy, and gathered to secure the coastline, Hwang among them, but some of them were fans. At that time, rumors of the Sword of Salvation, called Soul Edge, emerged from far west. The country was hopeful, and the king gave promising young man the task to seek out the Sword of Salvation and explore, and also confirm the truth of these rumors. When Mina secretly left home to search for the Sword of Salvation herself, Hwang set out to both fulfill his mission and return Mina home. A few years later, Hwang returned home with Mina, disquieted after having discovered that Soul Edge was not a Sword of Salvation, but rather a sword of destruction that would bring calamity to their country. After returning from a second quest to locate Soul Edge in 1588, Hwang met with Han Myung, and was surprised to learn that Mina had begun to receive marriage proposals from prospective suitors. Learning about the organization called the Society of Salvation, which was growing in popularity and political influence among the people of Western Korea, and sought to inflame tensions between Westerners and Easterners into a civil war. Hwang was urged by Han Myung to not let this strong sense of justice make him reckless, and learned from Mina that the leader of the Society of Salvation was a man named Won Gabok, and that the Society of Salvation was using a medium and jewels connected to Soul Edge in order to find followers in their quest to locate it. Reminded of the qualifiers he had encountered during his travels, Hwang decided to infiltrate one of the Society of Salvation's meetings after encountering a mysteriously white-haired girl called Ak, who encouraged him to do so. Disguising himself, Hwang snuck into a meeting of the Society of Salvation and discovered that Ak was the Society's touted medium, and that the so-called jewels were actually shards of Soul Edge. Exposed, Hwang cut down the malefested numbers of the cult and confronted Won Gabok, but was defeated by the powerful malefested and infected with Soul Edge's power. Transforming into a malefested himself, Hwang impaled himself with his own sword when Gabok sadistically suggested sending him to kill the people of the Song Dojang, particularly Songmina. Hwang awakened 3 months later, somehow still alive but severely injured, at the Motian Pass in Manchuria, in the care of Hwang Soo-hyun, a powerful Taoist monk who had once worked for the Korean government as a secret royal inspector. Soo-hyun informed Hwang that the shards of Soul Edge used in the Society of Salvation were the same ones he had brought back from his first expedition, recruiting him to travel the world, hunting fragments of Soul Edge in her stead, and teaching him how to use the Taoist magic, though she warned him that overuse could kill him. In exchange for his services, Soo-hyun promised to use the Divine Mirror of Evil's bane in order to cure him of his manifestation. After months of rigorous training, Hwang departed the Motian Pass equipped with a magical sword and powerful talisman, disguised to keep the word of his survival a secret. Arriving in Eastern Europe, Hwang infiltrated a hidden temple of the Fugal of Sistemus, coming into conflict with Wilhelm von Krone of the Aval organization when the latter attacked the temple and assumed he was a cultist. Upon clarifying that he was the misunderstanding, Hwang learned that Soo-hyun was an old ally of the Aval organization and exchanged information with them. Hearing that Malefested were gathering at Ostrheinsburg Castle, Hwang set out to investigate, despite the danger of succumbing to his curse and joining their ranks. En route to the castle, Hwang encountered Siegfried, who asked him to rescue hostages taken by the Malefested and provided him with a map. Infiltrating the castle, Hwang managed to rescue the captives, but was ambushed by Johan Doro, who recognized his prior expeditions and was outraged to discover was one of the leaders of the Malfested, codenamed Great Blade. Durer informed Hwang and Soul Edge's servants were seeking to sow chaos worldwide in order to accumulate strong enough souls to restore the Cursed Blade, and that Siegfried was actually the wielder of Soul Edge and the king of the Malfested. Hwang defeated Durer and in a duel and was allowed to leave, returning the Aval organization and sharing this intel. Connected by Soo-hyun and hearing that the Society of Salvation was planning on attacking the Song-dojang, Hwang was taken to meet the Conduit, who opened an astral fissure and enabled him to return to Korea. Warned of the dangers of the astral chaos, Hwang nonetheless ventured inside out of determination to save Mina and Hanmyeong. Arriving too late to stop the attack, Hwang rescued Mina and Hanmyeong from Gabak and succumbed to his overuse of the talisman. Powerless to stop Gabak and Ak from setting out to the Motian Pass, Hwang was saved by Mina, who shared her life force with him. Arriving to take Gabak from claiming the shards of Soul Edge he had gathered to destroy the Mirror of Evil's Bane, Hwang battled the Malfested monk and knocked him into the Mirror of Evil's Bane. With Gabak and Ak forced to retreat, Hwang was nominated Soo-hyun's successor to the Secret Royal Inspector and sent to dismantle the Society of Salvation, their allies and pawns, and other threats to Korea's stability. The main weapon that Hwang Seong Gyeong uses is different from his past one. The new sword is Dark Thunder, a black sword that has been bathed in the spirit of the sun, moon, and stars for 3,000 days at the top of the Mountain Ryu, where the spirits of the heavens and the earth come and go. It was given to Hwang by Hwang Soo-hyun, a Taoist who mastered the Tenkan Ryoke. Its psychic power helps to stabilize and enhance Hwang's psychic arts. In addition, it is connected to Soo-hyun's Senkai by spirit, so even if you are far away from the Metamine on your journey, the sword will be able to use Heike Genko and the Raku. You can master the two instruments of Enkensa. Sekai are weapons and the tools associated with the Shinsen, which are handed down in stories and folklore, most of them created by writing brushes of the literary family. But in the hands of the Taoists and hermits who separated from the world, there is a real thing that has power that is slightly beyond human knowledge. The sword is a variable flame blade that burns the vitality of a person it touches, and the entanglement chain also has the power to bind and restrain the shadow of the person who touches it. All of them are mysterious and are mysteries of the powerful Tenkan Ryoko family. But it can be said that their effectiveness has been dramatically improved by the swordsman Hwang Seong Gyeong, who makes full use of the Yellow Shard technique. Not only these swords are temporarily manifested by the power of Black Thunder Heaven, but also the Black Thunder Heaven itself is a gem, as pure while being a ritual, and many enemies will be disguised by the sword's technique. Hwang-style longsword and 6 heavenly arts. Hwang learned the adult sword technique under the rail swordsman Song Han-myung, who was called the God of War, and continued to improve his sword skills. After many battles, the technique has become unique, and at the recommendation of his teacher, he calls himself the Yellow Guandao technique. The flying sword method and kick leg technique that maximize the jumping power of oneself are called just like the phoenix flying in the sky. As he comes into contact with the darker ones, he gains another power, the mystery of the Tianjin Roku family, which was taught by Hwang Soo-hyun, who is also a secret royal inspector. The Tenkan Roku family consists of 6 secrets that take in the breath of the Arctic Z-Wei Emperor, who controls all demons, that is, Fulu, and deals with Fulas, Curly, that manipulates powerful words, Saisho, that is a prayer technique, Keikata, which is a therapeutic science, and Form, there's a Feng Shui, a technique. And 6 families of the Shinsaku, who take down the power of the demon god. Hwang's Purifying Blade. He slashes his sword down. If connected, he knocks his opponent upward and uses his talisman to conjure rings. He throws her blade and jump kicks as he flies through the rings, and his blade pierces the opponent. He pierces it even further with his foot, and it goes through his opponent. If the opponent's HP is low and he lands a critical edge, the triumphant music will play and the background turns white rather than red, and kanji signs turn black and glow yellow. It is also important to note that if you do use this technique towards the end of a battle, you will regain some health in the next round at the beginning, especially if you've used the talismans when you've depleted some of them. The weapons he uses are Dark Thunder, Butch's Cleaver, Ram Dao, Wo Dao, Qualvadis, Geosword, and Dragon's Tongue. The new stage that has come with this character is Motian Pass Ruins, and that's the stage that we see him utilize most in the game. As you guys know, Hwang Seong Gyeong is my favorite character in the franchise, and I'm super excited to have him back. I hope you guys enjoyed the new timeline lore of this character. Let me know in the comment section down below if you prefer his old timeline to his new timeline. Which lore do you like better? Which one do you think is more built upon, or which one do you think makes him a better character? I think we all have the same similar answer to that, which is Soul Calibur 6's version of the new timeline for most of the characters, but some of you differentiate, and if you do differ in that aspect, that's completely okay, because everyone plays the game for different reasons. So with that being said, we're going to bring this video to a close. I want to thank you guys for watching and listening. I will catch you guys on tomorrow's video. Be sure to check out my description box where you can find links to a bunch of stuff, including my Discord where we have awesome conversations. And as always, I love it. Thank you.
And thank you.